Stevie, good morning. Good morning, guys. This is 7 yet. Good morning. Hello, Ireland. Good morning. I'm sitting here waiting on my framers to set up, and I was like, well, we could go live for a little bit. What up? Ruth, find you a hole and get in there. There you go. Nothing. Other than Roro and Rip. Roxanne, you're gonna get in trouble. I'm about to set up here and keep these assholes separated. Hang on. I need a stick. Let a shovel. Shovel will work. Roxanne, scoot down. Scoot down. Come on. Come on, Ruth. Come on. Sit here like a toddlers. Keep everybody away from each other. Got a horsefly on you? Oh, I think I got it. If I didn't get him, I gave him a bad morning. There, it's fine to land on the skir. That's what I used to have to do. Sit here with a shovel so I could keep Roxanne away from Ruth so she could eat. Nope. No. Nope. 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 No, thank you. We don't need any help down here. Okay, let me see if I can read Andy this. Rowdy, it's a shovel, bud. This is not for you. I don't know. I haven't seen Shorty, but I did see 73 this morning, and she is looking prego. So we should be having a baby out of Shorty and Rufus's illegitimate daughter. $7:15. I think you are in the Central Time, aren't you? Poor old Roro sitting up there crying. But I can't have her over here with Rufus. $5:17, holy shit. That's about what time I got up. There's a whole feed trough down here, and I put more on this end. Roxanne, get your ass right down here. Get that horsefly. 2:18 p.m. in Europe. Okay. There's a horsefly on her, but I don't want to reach up there with the shovel and then YouTube freak out because I'm trying to kill horsefly with a shovel. You know what I mean? Oh, it's gonna be, Timothy. It's gonna be terrible. It's like 102. I think the actual feels like is like 114 or something for the next 10 days. I don't know if y'all can see or not, but my grass, she's about done. We're gonna switch over to just feeding hay. Gonna get expensive fast if we start now and feed through winter. But oh, I miss Nikki. Nikki, good morning. I about called you Paisley. I was talking to Roxanne about called Roxanne Paisley. It's funny when you get angry at something, you call it the last thing that you're angry at's name. You know it. Come back down here. I got her all away from you. Where you been? Where you been, GG? Where's that G? I don't know, man. Long time no see. Your son gets married today? Poor bastard. I'm kidding. Congratulations. Get the best daughter-in-law. Good deal. Me and Amanda was talking about it yesterday, and how we miss having a baby. Not talking about having a baby for damn sure, but we were talking about one of my 4 children's having one so we could play with it and then send it home. It's a hot bastard right now, man. It's so hot about 2 o'clock. You can't do anything. About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, about 2 to about 4:30. If you don't have some shade of some kind, you can't do shit. That's right, I do have 4 children. Me and Amanda just have 1. My oldest is nearly 25. I can't remember if she's 24 or she's 25. She is in the Army. My oldest son is 21, and he is down by Miami. And then Hagen, of course, is my 3rd. He's 18. And then we got old Paisley. That's officially now 12 years old. Going on like 27, it feels like. Hurry up, Ruth. I can't keep her away from you all day with this shovel. Got the divider going right now. You know what? Blended family is just a different animal. And I came from one family that stayed together. And but man, I'm going to be honest with you. My blended family is not the best. Okay? And I will say this, God bless Amanda, but she has done nothing but help everything. She told me from day one, she never wanted to be my kid's mama at all because they all had mamas. So she took care of all their needs and made sure they had everything they needed, but that was as deep as that went. And they all have a lot of respect for her. But gosh dang, they're assholes when they get bigger. I don't understand that. I'm the same asshole I've always been. But my oldest kids, we were talking about last night, I've been reading a lot of different verses out of the Bible about your children. And pretty much what it boiled down to after I talked to the old good Lord about it was that they ain't children no more. 25 years old, you ain't a kid no more. So you just can't shut them out. But man, my oldest is wild as a March hare, and my second one down is 2. And they are some a-holes. I love them. Does who kiss the big boss with that now? Do I? Hey, the big boss cuss now. Don't you just mistake the old big boss. Big boss is mean guy. I don't know. She puts on a little display here on last time. She's mean. By the way, she threw we just talked about it that day about how women will throw something to you. They're right-handed, but they'll throw it left-handed, overhanded over their right shoulder, and throw it at you at such a spiraling angle that you can't stop it, and it's going to hit you in the brim of the nose. Well, listen, I don't know if anybody has these new, or I don't even know that they're new, but I ain't seen them in my bathtub in ever. So there's a loofah glove or I don't even know that it's a loofah. It's rougher than a damn cob, but they got two pair of them in there. And I was in there taking a bath, so I was in a vulnerable position. You know what I mean? Anyways, Amanda came in there to tell me something. I don't know what they are, but them some bitches take the hide off of you. They're about as thick as, they're about as coarse as that cow's tongue. Anyways, Amanda grabbed them off the back of the tub, and I was trying to explain something to her in a very smart ass fashion, and she threw that glove at me. And I was not looking now, I was below her at an angle about a 45, kind of quartering away if you deer hunt. And she threw those gloves kind of balled up out of her left hand and hit me in the eyeball with a glancer off my wide open eye, because I didn't see it coming, because you don't when they throw you something. And it took about 2 layers of film off my eyeball, right around the pupil, as it glanced off of me at the speed of meteorite, and dropped me in the tub. She just put me down in the tub. And she didn't even, she just took off running. Oh man, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather take the remote full of batteries to the brim of the nose than that loofah. Those gloves were wet, so they had some weight to them, and they were kind of balled up. Son of a bitch. That could be an interrogation tactic for people. Oh, it was a 2-dayer. Like it ground some of my eyeball off, I think. It exfoliated my eyeball. You know what a man said to me? Suck it up. He got hit by a damn glove. I was like, I make it that story sound a little better than it is. That son of a bitch hurt. It did hurt. I'm not kidding. And then listen to me. So I get her to cut my hair finally, and I talk her into. She's never cut anybody's hair in her life ever. She's never even. The dogs don't even get a haircut by her. But anyways, I talk her into cutting my hair, and she's already pissed. So I know it's going to be bad because she doesn't want to do it. Anyways, it turned out great, but I had an old chair that we don't put in the kitchen because the seat's not screwed down. I need to get the real short, fat screws to screw the bottom of the damn chair ain't on there, if you know what I'm saying, you know, and you hide that chair out of the kitchen with the extras. Well, I drug it into the room there so she could cut my hair. And I went to scooch up in the chair, and I just reached down and I lifted up the bottom seat part. And when I did, it just lifted up, and then my pinky, can y'all see that? My pinky got under that chair, and then I sat back down on it. Oh my mother of God, did that hurt? Can y'all see that? Crushed my pinky nail. Yeah, that's it turning black. But I had to sit there because she was already mad, so I couldn't say nothing about my pinky. I couldn't even, like, I just kind of, you know how you just kind of hold it up, like, I don't know why you did, but my mom used to tell me to put it in your hair, like stick it on your hair. And I think that was more for cold weather, so it'd warm up. But anyways, I didn't have access to my hair. The other pinky is infected? Is it? Nah. But look at that. Son of a bitch. I sat on my own pinky nail, think about that, and crushed it. It's not that bad. I pulled off 3 fingernails one time. That was bad. I used to build hot rods, and we were at the drag strip, and I broke the bell housing on my transmission. Yeah, my transmission was just hanging up against my motor. I slid underneath there just to see where the crack was, and when I did, it broke off the back of the motor, and it pinned my fingers between the bottom of the car and the tail housing of the transmission. And I had to wiggle them like this and then pull them out, and when I did, those 3 fingernails right there stayed up in there. But I couldn't leave my fingers up in there because transmission was about 290 degrees, so that actually didn't hurt as bad as it sounds it should have hurt, because the nails came off and it takes that pressure out. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt, but not as bad as you would think. People took off, people scattered like a flock of quail when I come up underneath there and looked at my fingers. Your fingers look really weird without the nails, by the way. Really weird. How's the boat coming? How's the boat? Oh, I got the boat all going. Where you at? You near the Illinois? Good morning from Virginia. I've lost pretty much every fingernail, a lot of them a couple times through the years. If that tells you, I like to put my fingers where they shouldn't belong. I mean, look at them, for God's sakes. They're not in the, this one right here. I will show you something weird that happened to me. I cut this knuckle off right here, all the way around, and it was like flapped over, and I stuck it back down, and I held it down for a while, and it grew back. That whole thing did. I'm not kidding. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I thought that was, it grew right back on there. I have been, fence post got me right here. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but right there, right in there, man, that one bled. Whoa, ho, ho. This one here was a good one too, but this one right here is where they make blood, apparently, down in there. I did get rip banded. Yeah, that one there. But the good part about that one is I could hold my arm folded shut and it wouldn't bleed. But every once in a while I would like open my arm back up, you know, like when you make a muscle. Then I would open it back up and it would go. Buddy of mine pukes on a dime and he sees blood, which is weird because he's pretty gross. And anyways, he was throwing up. I was like, can you just drive me back to my pickup so I can go get this thing stitched up? David, I don't know that that's accurate. I think they've been lying to us, because I was seeing it fresh right down in there. What up, Texas? Blood comes from the heart. David, you keep up those good tips for us, okay? Where is it? Did she get it? Well, I was gonna sit up there and sit up there and go live with Redford, but my phone stand was down here and a chair was down here. So if you're fellow lazy bastards, so am I this morning. We can go up there. And I've got my guys coming in to start framing in my house. Hopefully they didn't get drunk last night and call it off. Get in there, Rufus. Nasty. Here it comes. Ow! I wish I could show you guys that gland inside their lip. No, Lisa, actually no. And I'm in shock right now because it was supposed to be installed last Friday And now here we are the next Saturday. So me being me, I was like, okay, that was really short notice for them to be able to come out that Friday. I brought that barrel for Rufus, but he hasn't seemed to want to mess with it. But I thought, me being me, maybe I misunderstood and they meant this Friday, which was yesterday. And nope. And I texted yesterday, no response. So I'm telling you, that's a t-shirt right there. I know. But the thing is all the girls buy the shirts mainly. And the girls don't want one of Rufus snipping another cow's butt. You know what I mean? Like, all us guys, we like think it's cool. We're like, yeah, we buy that. And when it comes down to it, we don't even know how to buy shit. Turns out, we don't even know how to buy it. Here, can you buy this for me? We screenshot it, send it to our wives, and then they buy it for us if they think it's appropriate or we would ever wear it, and make sure the size and the material's all right, or we ain't ever gonna wear it, let's be honest. And then we forget about it 45 minutes after we sent it to them. I know how it works. Good job, David. RufusTheBull.com. You can support old Rufus and get you a damn shirt at the same time. There was 2 adult emus at an auction not too far from me last night. And it took a lot to keep me from going over there last night. But I was like, man, they're probably assholes. They're probably really mean, or they haven't been treated right or something. You know what I mean? Like, anytime something goes to an auction, it's because something's wrong, pretty much. So I was like, should I go get them? Well, thank you, Andrea. I just try to give it to you guys the way it is. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people try to make their stuff so fancy and don't show the real, like, we bullshit and go on here. But, like, listen, if people ain't showing you screw up, that's what I told Amanda. I was like, I screw up a lot, and I show my screw ups. So go to other channels, and you won't see a lot of people screw up. You won't see cows out. You won't see all the stuff that actually goes on. And I think that's what's working for our channel, is just showing freaking life. It's like Hagen holding that gate shut with the Ranger. There was no joke or no playing. That was a serious deal. Like, I got the gate shut behind the calf, and I didn't have time to lock the chain. So I had him pull the Ranger up again it so that neither one of the bulls could bump it open. And you're kind of stuck like that. Like, he was really actually stuck. I know I was laughing. And if I hadn't been recording, I would have been locking that chain. But, like, to catch that stuff, you gotta. Where is Ron? Rhonda just made a beeline down through there. It's fun to watch. It's fun. Like, if you're out here doing it, it's really dangerous. Like, you got violent bulls on both sides. You're mixing up cows now with the bulls, which is just a stick of dynamite. Neither one of them can get to each other, so they'll attack whatever is nearest to them. Like, it's a bad situation. Poor old Hagen, he thought it was funny and he was in that Ranger, but man, I was really concerned about him. Believe it or not, because the front bumper was holding it into the gate, and Rufus was on the lower side. It looked pretty level, but he was actually below it. They're just really violent. Yeah, Cream passed away on us. That sucked, but he was sickly from the beginning, or she was sickly from the beginning, and I knew better, but, like, I feel bad because I did that to the girls, but they also knew. But if he would have lived, or she would have lived, she'd have been an asshole. They had a good run while they were on this planet. Yeah, Rowdy. I saw Rowdy following. Oh, what up? Dark Knight Batman. Probably one of the coolest names I've ever seen on here. I should work on my name. He was not improvising. He would rather be in that cart when it gets turned over. I do not want to be in there. When it gets turned over and you're in there, you can't hardly catch yourself. And it's really dangerous inside there. That thing's heavy. But he would rather be in it. I would rather be out running. Brandon's the coolest name. I don't know about that. Everybody thinks my name is Brett anyway, so I don't know how that got started. Things kind of just go in trends. Boy, we had a good run on the old Facebook video. That thing hit 8 million views on there. It's one of the old original Rufus's first viral videos. I've had it on here a time or two, but I found the original copy of it. Amanda took that video and she sent it to me from her phone. So I bought this new phone and it has 2 terabytes of memory. And I know you store everything in the cloud, or everybody's got all their different things they do. I know all the things. But if you can get that original one from the message or the airdrop that says sent from Amanda or whatever, the platforms like that better. They don't want one of them that's been uploaded before anything's been weird happened to it. So anyways, I feel like that's why it works so much better. And I had shortened it a little bit in the original, and it was a little bit longer. This stuff is so weird. Well, it's on here. It's on YouTube. Believe it or not, Facebook is the second best paying platform right now. It does really well. Well, the 2 herds are doing pretty good adjusting, other than Rip and Roro are out pretty much every day because they don't know what an electric fence is, so they just walk through it. And one bad thing about electric fences is whenever it gets dry, the hooves on a cow are what ground them to the ground. So when they're standing there on the ground, if that is really dry, there's no moisture in that, they will not ground. So I'm going to have to add another wire to my fence that's actually a ground wire. They're going to have to touch 2 wires to shock themselves now because, yeah, I'm not a fan of it myself, but yeah, I can't complain. Like, it's helping me pay for stuff. So, yeah, that's a bad part about electric fences is when it gets super dry and there's no moisture in the ground, the cow's hooves don't ground them, and they will not get shocked. What's funny is every platform has a different group of people, kind of like us on here. Like, it's probably around the same 1,000 to 1,200 people that are on here on most of the lives. But Facebook has the same thing, a whole different group of people. TikTok does too. It's neat to talk to all the people. I don't think so. The way that we're growing, I don't think so. I think if I can finish my house with my equity in my other house, then I think we're going to be in good shape. I think without a mortgage, I'll be able to do it. So that's good news. I can always go back to it if I need to. Kick pays the best? I don't know what that is. I mean, y'all are going to have to deal with me every day, but, or at least every other day or something. I got so many projects going right now. Hey, we gained, I'm not kidding you, yesterday I gained almost 40,000 new followers on Facebook in one day. So that video really helped. And I know everybody thinks if you have a lot of subscribers or followers, then you do really well, but that's not how it works necessarily. You want a new group, because y'all get sick of me. You can say it, and you'll swipe past the video. And what happens is when you start swiping past my videos, is that it stops putting them in front of you. So those new people, it puts everything new in front of you right then. So when you have 1 million or 2 million followers for over 5 years, you're probably looking at probably only about 1 million of them actually get that put in front of them. I do the same stuff to people. And then I go back through my liked stuff and I'm like, why have I not seen this person? Well, it's because I swiped off because they overloaded with content, and then you get sick of watching it. Well, we're not so much as just like wanting, like this is for, I'm trying to figure out a word. Somebody just said that I should put my Cash App on here. If I ever get to the point where we're going to be in bad shape, you know what I mean? But like, as long as I can pay my bills and buy me a hamburger, that's all I need. YouTube is the hardest, although I did see yesterday when I pulled up my hashtag, Rufus the Bull, I did see it said used on 47 channels. So that was a little bit surprising. I'm hoping a lot of that is people just tagging me and stuff, but I would say there's probably, safely to say there's 47 channels on YouTube of Rufus, unfortunately. But I know that sounds like a lot, but I would say there's probably 15 or 20,000 channels on Facebook. No, and the reason is on here, guys, is because like right now we have 768 people on here. So if we go live for an hour, that's 768 hours, of watch time. So when I get more watch time and the more people comment, that's why, like, if you guys don't comment. I don't even care if you just tell me to kiss your ass or whatever. I appreciate that. The comments help a lot. The interactions help a lot. And on the videos, any of the comments help a lot. Who cleans up the poop? Nobody. Cow poop is like basically a compost. If you'll feed, I did figure out if you'll feed about 50 pounds of whole corn every month or so, the whole corn doesn't process all the way through, and then the raccoons and everything gets in there and breaks everything up, scatters it, and it's fertilizer. Yep, it is. Cow poop is not the best fertilizer, but let me tell you something, guys. I live on the side of a mountain, and this thing has had years of washing, and it is missing so much different minerals in the ground, different, like even just to grow grass, you need a lot of fertilizer. This was the first year I was able to put the actual amount of fertilizer on my place ever. And it was around, I think, a ton per acre. No, not a ton per acre. It was around 250 pounds to the acre. I don't know why I said that, but it was around 250 pounds to the acre to 300 pounds to the acre. And it's about $35 for 50 pounds. So, good morning. So it takes a lot of fertilizer. And another problem is, yeah, lime. This place needs a lot of lime. Makes McDonald patties, but it's just a nonstop. Like you pay for it on one end or the other. If you want to have grass, you pay for fertilizer, you pay for lime, you brush hog, you buy seeds. Like, and this drought here, what happens with the drought is it's going to kill a lot of that new grass I planted. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have the roots down deep enough, and it's going to actually kill it. It won't come back, which sucks, but it's just part of it. No, and that's the problem with I can't irrigate because I'll pump my pump. I already tried that one year. It's such a rocky soil that it perks so good that you can run a water hose right there on the ground, and it won't go in a foot circle. Will you do a video standing behind Rufus so we can see you and turn with him? Let me turn. Stand up, you please. I will. I don't know where he's about to go down there, Tommy, and park himself in that big old wad of reeds. He's found him a spot to stand down in that water. That's where he's headed right now. Watch him. He can go down there, walk out in them weeds. That's probably also where that spring comes out. And the water's nice and cool right there. Well, it's a freaking humidity here. Look, Roxanne just covered up Rowdy with hay somehow. It's in these mountains here block a lot of the wind. It's really got to be coming from the right direction, and it's just like a steam sauna. No rain in 6 weeks there. Yeah. We've had some really good summers for the past 2 or 3 years, so I'm not complaining. We've had some summers where it looked like springtime in the summer. This summer's not been bad yet. We had so much moisture that we're still just in. Look at him climbing out there. We're in a moderate drought right now. Well, damn, he's going out in there now. It's a 6x6 block. I don't know where it came from. Oh, I know where it came from. It gives me something to trip over. Maybe the demise of me. It may be when I finally eat shit one day. So for a walk. Really? Well, I mean, maybe, I guess if I just had like a couple cows, but like most farmers around me here are usually a small herd is about 60. So I don't know where you'd put 60 of them. You'd need a big barn. I doubt I could make all my cows go in the barn. If I put a gate across front and the back, I doubt if I put their feed trough in there that Ruth and Roro and them would ever go in there because they wouldn't want to get hit by them older cows. With solar, fountain put oxygen. Well, Linda, I thought about I could run a cord. I thought about running a row of Romex from the barn up here down to my pond, but my fish straightened up this year, multiple big pretty ponds have turned over. Um, Get Rufus, man, that mud is deep right there. I don't know why he picked that spot. It's a big limestone bottom on that side over there too, and it's got big old holes and voids in it. I don't like to see him go down in there, but he does whatever the hell he wants to do whenever the hell he wants to do it. I'm gonna try to put a fountain in that one. Sometimes the fountains they got an aerating fountain and they've got a fountain. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was sunk all the way up to the nutsack. He was buried up in that mud. That's red clay on that side, but there's a limestone cliff on that side. I hit it with a dozer, and it looks like it has big wormholes all in it. Well, when I hit it, I pushed dirt back over those holes, but when they get wet, if you step in the right spot, there's a hole there about the size of a 5-gallon bucket down in them rocks. So I don't like to see him walk in there because he get on top of one of them holes and bury up and puts his leg in a bind. That's how he hurt his front feet so bad when he got in a fight with Redford. When he's just walking, he just picks his way through. But oh, that son of a bitch can swim. Don't you worry. I saw him. He was dead in the middle of that pond right there, holding Redford underneath the water. When animals get in a fight, a lot of times they'll back out into water so the other animal will leave them alone. Well, Redford backed out into the pond, but every time Rufus would try to leave him alone, he would attack him again. No, we don't really have any leeches here. I don't think I've ever had a leech on me in my life. Um, I think that's further south. I don't think they can survive up here, maybe. It's got a few grass carp in it. It's got a little bit of everything. Who can swim? Rufus cannot swim fast, I can assure you of that. You guys have leeches in there? I've never seen a leech around here, ever. I wonder why we don't have leeches here. I've swam in every shit, mud hole, river, creek, bed, pond. Um, no, and I feel like we were taught about quicksand as our childhood, and I've yet to run into any quicksand. So, what a crock of shit that was. And I've looked out for it for 40 years at least. So, I feel like we spent a majority of our life worried about quicksand when we shouldn't have been. In the river, man, I swim every river around here. I used to noodle, do all kinds of crazy shit around here, or try to. I know. What did we get out of that? Nothing. We prepared ourselves for quicksand. Everybody on here knows how to get out of quicksand. They know not to wiggle. They know not to do stuff. Yeah. Did you have yours? I ain't ever even seen any. What up, Mike? Would it be worth draining the pool? That pond's only 2 years old. It's brand new. Yeah, the whole bottom of that pond is walked in. The bottom of the pond is solid flagstone. It is solid. It is as flat as that top of that water. All the way across the bottom, I hit solid bedrock flagstone down there, sandstone. And then I was worried that I might have cracked it some. So I walked clay back in on that. But the side over here, and then there's some over here that was lime. And I was like, oh, shit. You don't want to hit limestone when you're building a pond. It has all kinds of voids in it. And you will not have a pond. You'll have a hole there that won't hold water. I actually built a pond straight through that way. And there's a spring that runs into it. And it filled up, and I was so proud of it. I came back the next day dry. It's not a real big pond. I just built a small one for my horses. And right out in the middle of it, there's a hole about the size of a baseball. It was like pulling the stopper on a bathtub. So I went and got a big old scoop of red clay, put in there, and walked in with my tractor, filled up again. 2 days later, gone. And I was like, son of a bitch. It's a limestone hole. They would swim across. I don't know that I've ever seen a cow actually swim. I mean, I've seen them on. I might have seen some. I can't recall any instant I saw a cow actually swimming besides them on a movie or something. They don't like to get out there to where they're floating. Oh yeah, I got a good video of them yesterday of Rosie and all of them. It looked like a little family over there on Redford side down in the pond. Rip was laying down by the water's edge. Rosie, I've got a video and a picture of it. You know, I got that extra phone so that I could do my lives with it, and then I could show you guys pictures on this phone, and now here I am on this phone and not my other phone. Look, here's that sumbitch and squirrel right here. What did we name him? Anybody remember what we named him? He's a young gray squirrel. Let's see, we can go up there. I bet they're not down by the pond right now, but we named him something. Did anybody see that you can walk into a store now and buy a suppressor and walk out just like you could with a firearm with a standard background check now? Does anybody know that? Well, you can. So it's going to be a lot quieter around here after yesterday. Earl the squirrel, that's it. Somebody nailed it. I'm pretty sure it was Earl, yeah. Let's go down here. I don't really know why you couldn't buy them before. I mean, it was just the federal government trying to take our money. But, not trying, but what's so funny is my buddies all spent a ton of money on those permits, you know. Whoops, hang on a second here. And now you don't have to have them. I refuse to buy that shit like that. The only thing that I have to buy is a fishing license, and that pisses me off too, but we need conservation, so I understand it. But the game warden doesn't like me. I wish he did like me. I really give him no reason not to like me. Don't mind the feed bags, the raccoons. Back at it. Everybody just bear with me. Oh shit. Oh well, we got enough. Okay. Well, hey, some good stuff right there. not doing this every day, Roro. We're not gonna do this. I just left. Yeah, I gotta buy a roll of hot wire. Oh, good. Here's Redford. Redford, you got some flies on you, boy. Let me lift this thing up a little bit here. Sorry for coming down here on the Ranger. I knew that was gonna piss you off. Roro, you're not gonna like this fence when I put this new wire on here, so I hope you're prepared. I need to get your other side. See, bulls, like Ruby here has some on her face only. But freaking bulls, man, they put out so much different. Roro ain't got a fly one on her. Maybe because they don't shit all over themselves like the boys do. Could be part of it. Ralph, what? What's the problem? Get my phone stand over right. Okay, here we go. Maybe. This has been the best phone stand. Y'all remember when I used to go through a phone stand a day? I fed them on the way through. They do get a lot more calm. I did get rip banded. I don't know where he went. I think he went back in. Yeah, Redford is good size. What you doing, sir, girl? Ralph, what are you doing, boy? Everybody's full. Oh, good. Redford's gonna block the whole view of everything. Roro is a pretty girl. Where did you get all this dust at? Where are you digging in the dirt at? Oh, over there on that bank. God. They love their heads covered in dirt. Redford, back up some, dude. Come on. Look at your belly. That's what that hay does to him right there, man. That's some good stuff. A few more flies on you, Redford. Well, if you wouldn't rub in the dirt 9 million times a day, you'd have some of this left on you. Eye bulger. I know, Redford. Now he's got the whole crew over here with him. You may see where Rip went. You know, the company that built my barn is going to build me a two-sided, like a run-in shelter for Redford and my horses, the same color as my barn. But I've got to get this fence built through here. But there's so many other things that need to happen. I need a dozer for a day or two to get this good and smoothed out. Or, I mean, it wouldn't take me about an hour with a dozer to get it ready, but I don't want to get a dozer until I get everything straightened out around my house so I can do my final. The big boss, you're the member of the month. Member for a month. Oh, I was about to say, what the hell? Why is the baby out? I don't know. Because the electric fence isn't working. If you'd like to go dump water the whole length of the fence and wet the ground down, I have done that. When Rufus used to get out all the time from the electric fence, I'd find where he was crossing every time, and I would take my tractor bucket and I would come on, man. I would take the bucket and I'd dump water right where he was crossing at. Thanks, Redford. God, that stinks, man. That's a foul poop. That whatever that poop is when they do that is a different one. It comes from a different gut or something. What's your ass, boy? No, there's another gate. There's two other gates from here. While I'm here, I leave them open, but when I leave, I shut them both. So they have to go through a couple different barriers and fences to get out. The horses are on the front. They don't even have another one. So if they get out, they're out. Rufus has to go through the most. Redford has to go through the second most. He needs a shower now. He needs something, all right. Roro. Roro, I can put you back down there with Rowdy if you would rather. I didn't know if you wanted to be with Ruby and Ralph or Rowdy. You got another month or so. Stop. No, don't eat much here. Well, behind Rufus is like miles of woods. He has gotten in there before. That's when it's really hard to find him because of the tree canopy. You can't see him with a drone or anything. Don't eat that, you dumbass. Give me that. Okay. He's ripped a chunk of my seat off and swallowed it. It was Gorilla Tape. Not a real big piece, but God almighty. I didn't think you could rip that off. I'm sure that'll process fine. Yeah, we need some rain bad. The old place looks like a desert. Look at it. They'll be feeding hay. No, you're gonna get in trouble now. No. Yeah, that hay really puts it on them. I mean, it really puts the weight on them. A lot of people think the grain is like dog food for some reason. The grain is only 12%. That hay there is probably 16 to 20. So, pound for pound, the hay will put more weight on them than the grain. And when you just drop them 1,000 pounds of hay in there at one time, they'll eat, 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 eat. Every evening from Australia, evening. Stop! You can't eat a tape measure either. Dude. Hey. So anything my hands touch, the salt off my hands and the oils off my hands, they smell that. And unfortunately, my butt sweat from the seat is salty. I'm guessing is why she wants to eat that tape. Stop. Roro, you're going back in your pen, dude. Like, you're... Redford, every time I turn my head, I look back and you're closer to me. Roro is over here eating my tape measure. Trying to. I don't know what she's doing. Flagstaff, Arizona. Oh, there's Rip over there. Getting some breakfast. Roro, you're licking everything. Toby, what do you want to have done by winter? I'll be honest with you, this time of year, it is, why is it shaking? This time of year is so hot, and the ticks, the chiggers, and the snakes are out real bad. This time of year is just kind of one of those times where everything's just kind of down a little bit, but plan is to have this fence right here done by winter. Have a dozer in here, and what I need to do with the dozer is straighten this out some, so that I build a nice straight fence through here. I need to take off some of these humps and level this out. This is my last piece of fence. It goes from down there down to that corner right there by that guide wire, and then straighten this out. Doze out a circle here, a little bit of a circle, so I can swing in big trucks in there, so I can put fertilizer in with bigger trucks, and then get this freaking fence built. But man, it's so dry and packed right now. Plays hell on that. And then I'd like to broadcast. I'd like to seed we can't drill any grass here, any seed, because it's too rocky. But I'll broadcast this thing, the whole property. I'm gonna do the whole thing in wheat, in a shit ton of it. Enough that the game warden's gonna be saying, "Hey, how much wheat did you put on that place?" But I'm hoping this thing will just be glowing green all winter, for the cows to eat some. And then our water's right at being on, just needs the well guys to be here. What's going on with those guys is Amanda doesn't ever care, but they get tied up right now during these droughts. Oh, good, she spit it out, thank God. She had swallowed that. Let's put that in a feed sack or she'll find it again. Like to get this fence done, get all that done. But the well pump guys are working on wells right now for chicken farms all chicken farms are needing water bad, and if they have a pump go out, they can lose their whole flock of chickens, thousands, hundreds of thousands of chickens. So I understand what they're doing. She really doesn't, but in truth be known, do I need water in an emergency way right now? No. Could I water my farm? Not really. Do I want to see water come out of my hoses? Yes. Man, you bastard. Stop. You can't eat the seat. Stop. Go on. Go on. And that's why they don't need to be out. Me and Rufus broke the shit out of my tailgate. Man, he ripped the whole thing off. Here's a calf band if you wanted to see how that works. That's what we should do to a few people on this planet need some of these. Here's how these work. The band goes on like that. Pull those open. Slide over. Make sure you get both of them pulled through. And you leave a fair amount of the sack above those. So when that heals up, it has room to stretch a little bit. You don't want to go all the way up against the belly or it can rupture. So you want to make sure you give them enough room to grow. And it cuts the circulation off. And they literally, within just a day or two, will just dry up and fall off. I honestly never even see them walking funny or nothing when they're young. It's almost like it's just very, very small. It's only, their whole sack is only about the size of the end of my thumb. And not like old Redford there. Now, one thing you got to really watch for, I've seen this happen a million times, is people will put those bands on, and it's really hard to feel their testicles inside there. And if you let one of them slip up and get above the band, it'll grow in their belly, and you'll be looking at them and you'll be like, boy, he's filling out like a bull. And you can look behind them and you'll see a bulge, and there'll be a bull. And there's not much you can do after that. They just get sold as a bull. Well, poor Rip, but she's gonna have a great life. I don't know, he'll be a full bull if you leave any of them. Hogs are different. Hogs are totally different. Hogs have cords. They got little knots on those cords. So if you take their testicles out, you got to scrape those knots off that cord or they'll grow a new one. I never was a fan of fixing hogs. You have to cut them out. Hogs have their nuts are on their butt cheeks, both butt cheeks, right underneath, right on their butt. Every man watching, I know. You got to make a little slit in theirs and then push them out the bottom, pull them out with the cord, scrape the cord, then cut the cord off. I've done it for years and years with my dad. My dad always did that part because it's really crucial to make a small incision and make it in the right spot and all that stuff. And I remember the first time I did it, my dad came out and he was like, I didn't know. I mean, I'd been around it. I thought I'd paid attention. The first time I ever did it, I was like, well, why don't I just make one incision, push the one from the other side over here to this incision, scrape the cord, remove it, and let it go. and then you only have one incision, one place to heal, right? Better? Well, no, because that socket has to be able to drain all the fluid out of it. So my dad was like, "You did great. You did great. Now grab him and hold him. We're gonna have to make a new incision where he's already sore." And I was like, "Oh." People eat hog nuts. I don't. I don't eat anything's nuts, and they don't eat my nuts. That's a rule I have. Castration tool for pigs is just a razor blade. Is Rowdy intact? Yeah, we're gonna leave Rowdy a bull. Try to cut your pigs in the wintertime when it's cold, but you got to cut both those sockets, otherwise they won't drain. Well, been there, done it. You know, it's mistakes. People don't call out their mistakes, but I thought one incision would be better. My dad was like, "Well, go ahead and catch him again, hold him back up here, and let me show you why we do this." And I was like, "Well, it'd been fucking nice. He just showed me like 20 years ago." Did you? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Oh, Toby, how long will it take Rowdy to fill out? Oh, he's already thinking about it. I saw him. Rufus was following Rhonda yesterday because Rhonda's been in, and I saw Rowdy just trailing right behind, and I was like, "Oh, it's starting." Talking about Redford. Snakes, no, they're not a problem. So a steer, once you remove everything from a bull, you see Rowdy. See how Rowdy looks like or not Rowdy. You see how Ralph looks like a cow. His neck smaller. He doesn't have all that shoulder and head and neck. See what he's got? Takes all that hormone out. This guy here is like a bodybuilder that is shot up a million times a day. He doesn't even have to do anything to keep this structure, to keep all this muscle. He can go up there and lay and sleep all day and look like this because he is generating so much. So when you take that away from him, all that muscle goes away. Well, then they're able to put some fat on. So him, if you, let's just say hypothetically, if you took a ribeye out of him, it would be as red as you could get. There would not be a piece of fat on it. None. Well, maybe with him a little bit because I overfeed him, but not much. You could not make hamburger. If you took him and all the fat on him and you had him ground into hamburger meat, you could not make a hamburger patty out of the meat. It would fall apart. There would not. You'd have to buy fat. So what they do is they take a bull like this and they have him ground into hamburger. They take a big old fat steer or a cow, whatever it is, and they add that fat from that other cow to that meat. Enough that that's why you see the 80%, 20%, whatever it is at the store. So when you buy a steak from the store, God dang, Ralph got all snagged up in that tree. So anyways, a lot of people don't know that, but your hamburger meat probably comes from multiple cows. And your hamburger meat probably has a lot of organ meat in it. Liver, things like that. You could take that kind of meat materials and you grind it, you put fat in there. Redford would need a lot of fat. cows. I keep calling Ralph Rowdy. Taco Bell meat is weird meat. I guarantee you, as finely ground as Taco Bell meat is, it's probably a lot of organ meat. I can't believe she's not pregnant, Toby, but I'll be honest with you. When you keep them real chunky like they are, and you don't separate your bulls at all, if I took her and put her, see if I had my water, here we go with the water I said I didn't really need, but if we were trying to make babies, which I'm not, so I'm fine with that, but what we could do is we would take her, put her in the corral down there, and feed her and water her for about a week or so, and then bring her back, put her in here, and then she would probably breed back. But I'm good with her not being pregnant. Roro, Rip is now out down here. Roro is behind the Ranger, but she's not eating the seat, so she's eating the grass that nobody else can reach. We're gonna have to remedy this problem today, or this is gonna get out of control. When you start letting your cows get out like that, they'll go into their adulthood looking for holes and ways to get out. Hormones or foods? Not really sure what that meant, but you have a great day too. Yeah, you can turn them into an escape artist real quick, letting them get out. The reason that Redford stays in with a couple hot wires here that won't even shock him right now is because he's gone his whole life without getting out. And if he has gotten out, it's just been one random, I don't know if he's ever been out, but maybe twice. Where you going, Roro? I'm gonna tell you right now, that calf right there, look how tall she is. That is gonna be a monstrosity of a cow. I can't wait to see her grown. And little Rip there, he is just a runt. He's finally filling out a little bit. I don't have any, we grow a big garden at my house, but I've been so busy this year. We usually grow a couple acre garden, a few hundred tomatoes, plants, and potatoes. And we started it this summer, or this spring, and I spent my whole time over here building all this shit and doing all this stuff when it really needed to be maintained. And so no, but yes, we will have a big garden over here. Oh no, they're not gonna go anywhere. Rip especially, he won't go far from his mama. There's a gate right down there, it's open, but now if they were older, them some bitches would go from here to God knows where. There's a groundhog lives right down there, and it's been eating out of my feed trough where they're at right now. I think they smell it or seen it. Look at them. I said that. Now look at them. Assholes. Look at them. They're just like, hell, piss on it. We're just going to head out. Eat some of that grass down. We've got to add an extra wire to this fence, and then they have to touch 2 wires at one time to get shocked. Yeah, I have not seen Shorty. I think he may have got rid of Shorty, but Curly's still down there. I think the new bull that took Shorty's place is ornery, from what I understand. I know. I'm like, hope the bastards stop. Oh, they got about 2 miles to go. I'll call them in and be like, run them back up the damn driveway. There's that one older video. Oh, yeah. Do you have to trim their hooves? You know, I haven't, but I do see it looks like Redford's back feet are getting a little bit long, but once I get that was one of the other projects, just to get a squeeze chute installed up here, so that we can do our vaccinations when it cools off for everybody. Those things are not cheap. But no, his feet look pretty good to me. Like, I don't see anything wrong. He's never had any feet issues. That's one thing about being on the side of this mountain in these damn rocks. And they keep their feet trimmed off pretty good. They're not like a horse, really. Most of the stuff you see, like on Nate the Hoofman and all that stuff, it's all dairy stuff. They stand in wet manure all day. They're big, heavy cows. And they're just wet all the time. Yeah, I mean, in the springtime, they go through it pretty good, but no, he just ate a shitload of feed. For about an hour or two after well, actually, you know what? It doesn't even matter for him. If I was to drive in there right now, yesterday I thought I'll go drive in there. It was like middle of the day, hotter than shit, just fed him. He was way down there, and I was like, I'm gonna go down, drive around and check that hot wire, because the horses got over here. And I found it right off the bat, so I thought I had time to get out. Nope, come out of nowhere. What was the question? He's looking at Roro. Roro's getting braver and braver. I cannot believe Rosie's not pregnant, though. You know, we could have got a false negative test, but I'm gonna tell you right now, she sure as hell don't look pregnant to me. Like, she looks like she looks like a heifer. So she's 2 years right now, with no calf. But she's gotten big. I think she's bigger than Roxanne now. I was really hoping she was pregnant so I could kick her in there with Roxanne and Rufus again. They could all hang out, and that would give me a few more animals on that side. I think she's about the same size, but she was small. She was smaller than, way smaller than Rip when she was born. I'm talking like tiny, like a lamb. She was so small that she could not reach Roxanne's udder. I mean, she was like on her tiptoes with her head straight up. Heifer. I know, that's Roro. Both of them. There's some, well, you can definitely tell where the wet weather springs are this time of year. You can see there, one comes up right there and then one down there. I found some arrowheads right in that strip right there. They must have had a little campsite right there. Is there a reason why they're pregnant you keep with Rufus? Nah, not really. I just kind of rotate them around. That's his daughter. So I let them all kind of It doesn't seem to be helping though, but when they're pregnant, I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but this side of the farm is steeper than shit. So when the girls get pregnant and big, I try to put them down there where it's flatter and they're not having to labor up and down this mountain so much. Basically just for them. And so I keep an even number on both sides. So one side doesn't get just destroyed and eaten down to nothing. Yeah, and the other biggest reason is the more girls you can keep with Rufus, the more he'll stay at home. Even if they're pregnant, he'll stay at home. Rufus used to have a real big problem with not staying. Whoops, I think I just turned the volume down. Somehow, did that mess up the volume, guys? This right here was all mountain, came down like super steep, like this, all the way through. I built all this up with a dozer. There's a big deep ravine right here. I leveled it up with all this dirt, put culverts in there, and then took this road out. There was nothing here. The old road came in right through here and just came to the pond bank, and you could just drive out on the pond bank, but there really wasn't even a place to turn around on the pond bank. That was the old original road. This was all just woods. Yeah, I'm gonna get Paisley her own little four-wheeler. She don't want a side-by-side, just a little one once we get out here so she can fly around on these roads like I did when I was a kid. Of course, mine was a piece of junk, but barely ran. And I remember buying a bunch of old lawnmowers, and we would soup up lawnmowers, riding lawnmowers. We had a lot of fun with that, actually. There's probably 10 of us had riding mowers. We were putting smaller pulleys on them and shit, and yeah, everything gets out of control. No problem. I do like doing all the videos and trying to explain everything, and it's pretty interesting to me too. And I'll be honest with you, everything keeps changing with the animals. I've never spent this much time with them, and from where I was at when I started doing this, I thought I knew everything. I did not. Now the more I learn, the more I think I don't know. I know. See, when those little bastards get out right there, they won't come to a feed sack. They don't care. What the hell kind of bug is that? Good God, that thing is the size of a damn blackbird. What the hell was that, Redford? Well, it looks like my framers are getting an early start, doesn't it? There's no way in hell they drove past me while we were live down there. Somebody wants to buy a Rufus bull calf. Shh, we ain't got one. We'd have to get somebody to run it manually and then pick out the male seed. Did y'all see that bug? I don't know what that was. That son of a bitch is big enough to bite a hunk out of you, Redford. Volume seems okay, okay. My phone clamp had something held down. Yeah, no, they're not for sale. I don't know what that thing was. It looked like a hummingbird, but it was not. Pet him. There's one problem today with petting Redford through the fences. The fence isn't on. It's the first problem. Second problem is that the fence ain't on. And there's the third problem. Oh, I know he's nice and calm and everything, but he's not. Not. If the ranger wasn't sitting here behind me, he might not be in this bad a mood. Redford's never calm. I've seen Redford attack Rufus out of nowhere. And if you've ever witnessed that firsthand, I don't know if I've ever caught it on video. And when I say attack, I don't mean playfully. I'm talking try to kill him from behind. And out of nowhere, he's standing just like this and then just explode. And if you ever see that, you know what he could do to you at any second. So if you watch this, I'll just rub my foot on the ground. See him? You make a sound like that, you sneeze, anything, and he's not paying attention, he could just whirl into you. Everybody thinks being in front of one is the most dangerous spot. Right here is the most dangerous spot. Is anybody else addicted to Carmax like I am? Roro, get your ass back up here. Hey! You're a dipshit. Look at her. Oh my God. It's such a dipwad. If it was anybody but her, I'd be concerned. He's never not eyeballing. Rip, where are you going? You need milk. Roro. Hey. She just looked at me like, hey, you see this shit up here, Dad? Did you know this was here? Yeah, I did know. Here, y'all hang on right here for a second. I'm gonna go shut this gate. Okay. Oh, look, here's Redford back. I think Rosie's going in the pond. That's what we came up here for. There's what that groundhog eats. See that corn underneath there? There's a groundhog up here, man. He's getting fat. Was that a burp? Oh, good. Come with me, Redford. That groundhog lives somewhere right there. This whole little area right here, I gotta clean this up. I'm just trying to keep enough weeds on everything to hold some of the soil. Oh yeah, look at you both out there drinking. They're like, there's no water on this side of the fence. Have you had to deal with any beavers yet? No, we don't have any water on this place, really, just ponds. We ain't got no running water. Who does the hoof trimming? Never had any trim before. On the horses? You're looking at them. Well, behind you. On the cows, I've never known anybody that need their cow hooves trimmed. But I think that's more of a southern thing, like a sandy soil. These guys are on rocks, and like there's wear. Mars, I don't know what you're talking about. Is Mars okay? Your neighbor had one. I feel like Mars has been on here before, though. Redford's gonna go to this fucking brush pile. Okay, good, good. Oh, good. Yeah, okay. Great. Good to have you. Oh, you talking about Redford? I gotcha. His mom really didn't neglect him. She just wouldn't keep him. She wouldn't have him. He'd been dead meat. She was only with him for about 2 days. But as we can tell, that gene was handed down. God, he's gonna. Oh my God. Redford. Look at old Ruby peeing right in the damn water hole, Ruby. He's a little more aggressive than normal because he's got more girls now. Ties up his attention, and he wants to make sure he's the one doing the breeding. They're so tough. I don't know if y'all can hear the damn tree limbs and shit down in there, and cedar and rocks and shit. And like he's not on a trail. He's about to smash that cedar tree down to the ground. And the log under it. God bless him. That's a red cedar tree. The sap out of that tree right there is a natural fly repellent. So he'll rub it all over his face. He's about killed all of them, though. You have to go where he kills the hare. Oh, yeah. It's one of those things that's built into his brain is, but now you can break him of caring about that wire. You turn it off and let him. He'll figure it out. And if it's turned down too low, he'll figure it out, and he can get so that he doesn't care about it. You can train them. That's why farmers freak out when their animals get out, and that's why, because if you let one get out, or they ever figure out they can jump, is the worst. Because if you ever get one that figures out it can jump, then you can't keep them in. Well, the ground is so dry now that Lisa, the ground is so dry now. You see that powder coming out of there? Basically, if he touches the wire right now, his hooves have no grounding. So unless there's some moisture in the soil, like if he gets really wrapped up in them green weeds right there and touches it, then it'll bite the shit out of him. But let's see if he'll touch it. And those weeds right there, especially with that poke right there against his belly, it would probably bite him right there, but maybe not. You know, your electricity in your house also, if you're in an extreme drought, you'll get where the grounding rods for the main power lines and shit, like, it needs moisture. You're welcome. Oh, they got them. They got two. Well, Redford's may be gone by now, but they've got 2 salt blocks. I put in the sulfur blocks too. Adds a little bit of sulfur to their blood, which helps with ticks and other things too. So they get salt, minerals. I got some new minerals for them. It's supposed to really help their hooves, so we'll see how that goes. Hello, Arizona. Nothing's wrong. He's just Redford being Redford. He's about to touch that wire, though. I'd like to see him touch it. Not that I want to see him get hurt. I just want to see how much it works. He's a good boy. He really is a good boy. But I mean, you can't get in the pen with him, but he doesn't get out. He's never been hurt, really. He's pretty lightweight. He throws a good calf. He throws a pretty light birth weight, which is what you want. And this calf grows good. Look at all the girls are down there fighting. Ralph got in the girl list. Ralph's like, hey, man. Ralph's like, who's this little fart head right here? They do love the pond. Ruby and Rosie always stood in the pond by Rufus. This is Rufus's favorite pond. I wish I could put him back up here. Once I get this fence built here and I get a better way to separate them, then I could rotate Rufus back up here and Redford over there. Rufus would be standing all day right over there underneath that tree. and those weeds. He walked in so much right there. He made a big flat bench down in the water. And that's where he'd be all day. As soon as that got in the shade, which will be here in the next hour. Rip is very small. He was born small. He's very small. His mama was first calf heifer, so that is Rosie. That is Rufus and Roxanne's first baby. Come out black and white. At first I was like, oh man, black and white. And now all we've had is red and white. Is what against the law? Roro, go back down there. Rufus really isn't mean to anything, honestly, besides me or another bull. He was never mean to Lucky. Lucky attacked him. Who's limping? Oh, hell, they get mud shoved in between their toes and sticks and shit. I don't know how they even walk through that shit right there. I don't know. It's weird that everybody's been. It's weird to me that Redford had a calf, other than it being brown, Rip, with almost identical markings on his face, which is pretty rare. To me, anyways. Lucky was crazy, man. Lucky was nuts. I wish I'd have recorded him more. I thought we was going to have him forever. I was like, man, this guy right here. I even started him his own page. He had 100,000 followers in like 3 weeks. Pretty sure he was a wild hog crossed with a potbelly. I've told the story about where he came from and who he came from, which always cracks me up. Yeah, I got another one I'm bringing over here, Clover. Clover is not, most likely, probably not Lucky's. She is. Lucky was only about maybe 45 pounds, and he was years old. Clover is 300 pounds and is, what, a year and a half old now? Hi from Brooklyn. No, I feel like she's a full-blood potbelly pig. Yeah, actually saw Lucky on my game camera, and I couldn't figure out what I was looking at because he did not look like a wild pig and he did not look like a tame pig. So I was so confused. I named him Lucky because he was actually right below this pond bank right here. There's a big white oak tree right down there, and I was standing up here, and I just about took old Lucky out, and I was like, what is that thing? And why is it out during the daytime? Why is it not running from me? So I named him Lucky. It sucked, man. He was so much fun. He was so loud. Like, I wish I would have recorded the growling and snarling the guy did. Like, it was like the most vicious dog when he would growl. You know, it would startle me. It startled me for days whenever, and he would just explode into like a growling jump lunge at the cows when they would get near. So he'd go up to the trough after they were done eating, and he would eat the whatever they dropped on the ground. Well, then the cows would get nosy and want to see what he was doing, and he would be like protecting his feed like a dog, and he would just snarl and growl. Do not walk through that. Redford, I'm not chasing her, dude. That's how you can get killed right here. Stop, stop, go back. There's my arrowhead carving. What do you think? Stop. There you go. Redford, you get to following her thinking you're trying to keep her in, and then Redford thinks that you're chasing her like he is, and then is Rufus? Yes, Rufus is more dangerous now. I try not to mess with Rufus much when there's a cow cycling, and Rhonda has been doing this for like a week or two now. And yeah, that's my chainsaw carving there. What do you think? Everybody's like, you gotta watch out, them cows fall on that and stab themselves. Well, son of a bitch, it's 4 foot tall. What are you gonna do? Slip, jump, and jump on top of it? There's no way you could do it without doing it on purpose. It's really not sharp either. It's like 3 inches wide. While I was carving that, I found the first arrow emoji. Don't attack me. What do you think? Is that not a perfect arrow? Like, I mean, is it just me? Is that an arrowhead, anybody? I'm kidding. I thought it was funny. Yes. That'd be an Arkansas sexstone. An effing rock. I don't know about awesome, but I got sidetracked when I was cutting out this right away, and I was like, man, I could carve me a damn arrowhead out of this right here. I've only found about 8 or 9 actual arrow heads in this place. I found a broken point yesterday, or day before yesterday. Now don't trip and fall on that now, Redford. About a year ago, I think. I made 2 of them. Yeah, it's. I thought it was kind of cool, but I think it's going to be right where my fence needs to go. My fence needs to go right here. Maybe I can miss it. I don't know yet, but if I can't, you're coming with me. I need to dump some polyurethane or something on it. Maybe too late. Boy, Redford, you're getting brave there, man. I wish they had some grass down there. Creative bastard. Well, I mean, it probably took me a tank of gas to make those 2. There's another one down there. That one down there looks like the special ed did it, which basically is accurate. I got a little better for that one. I like arrowheads. Maybe I'll take y'all arrowhead hunting today. Y'all want to do that? I haven't been down there in a long time. Where I go. Yeah, it's electric, but the problem is the ground's too dry to ground anybody right now, so it won't even shock you. It might with them standing there in that grass, but I doubt it. Damn, Redford. Who needs a weed eater, dude? I can take y'all, but I'm gonna have to blindfold you. Y'all have a great day. I've got a place I like to hunt some arrowheads. Pretty proud of my collection. I've never purchased an arrowhead, and I have a few hundred. Actually, I don't know how many I have. I may be getting close to 1,000. It's really hard to hunt arrowheads when we haven't had any rain at all because the dust settles on them, and they get dirty really quick. It's almost like a piece of glass. It's pretty shiny, and then once you get dust settling, they get harder and harder to see, to flint. Appreciate that, Ashley. Me and my babies found those. I have stood on top of a lot of arrowheads with each one of my kids. I would stand near one and I would say, "It's right in here. Come on." And Amanda, you just about impaled yourself with an arrowhead. Elmerfoot, I haven't heard that name in forever. Hey, 17. Do I know what tribe was in this area? I don't. A lot of the stuff I find here is like old. It's like caveman shit. Like, it's more hunter gatherer, pretty crude, pre bow and arrow. Most of it is all dart, spear, stuff like that. Son of a bitch, if she didn't go into the damn horse pen. What would Redford do if I started running down the road? Probably just wondering what the hell I was doing. Now, if you go in there and chase them guys around, you're gonna have a problem. Fact check. What are we fact checking? Pretty much everything. 99% of my points are all spears and darts and pre-bow and arrow. Very few. The longbow, oh my God, hasn't been around that long. I just have a very small collection. I do have some, like, I have a lot of like before they even knew how to tie or how to make the notches. So when they tied an arrow head on or a point onto their spear, they didn't realize how much the string that they'd tied it on with, or the leather or whatever, was stopping it from penetrating. So I have some that are even the pre-notch. Pretty neat when you pick one up to think about the story behind it. Yeah, I've had some of mine checked out. They're old, and I've got some arrowheads that are, less than 1,000 or close to 1,000-year old. That'd be probably the earliest. Or no, I think I said that wrong. That would be the most modern. Would be the real pretty dovetail points, very small. The more crude, bigger, heavier And I found a lot of garden tools, cultivating stuff. Lots of hammers. A lot of people use a lot of tomahawks for hammers. But to crack nuts, walnuts, and hickory nuts, and a lot of that shit was nut crackers. I found a whole bunch of knives. Couldn't figure out what they were. I was like, well, these aren't a spearhead. They're not a arrowhead. A lot of things are refined. If they would break a big spearhead, they would take that. Well, a lot of people just call everything scrapers, but every tool was used for different things. But most of your really small points were refined down from bigger points. They would take a broken point, good material, refine it down. So a lot of your real small stuff was actually big. If you really look at it, you can see. What's pretty neat is when you get to looking in one spot, you'll see that particular family. You'll find the bottoms where they attach to the arrow. You'll find certain ways that they're made. A lot of people just look at them, but you'll look at them and you'll see like a signature on each one, if that makes sense. Like you'll see something for sure. This was a specific person that did these, and you can see it. And you'll see it completely different in a different area, the way they attach to the, and then you'll see some similar on arrowheads and spearheads and different points. It's pretty neat. It's what's cool to me is when you find them that are real pretty and they're really marked up, and the flint has all kinds of veins in it and like little blemishes in it, and you can tell like they picked that out to make that like a cool, not really ceremonial, but it would be just a really cool point. So they took the time to, when they made something, not just for, the old stuff made out of just rotted flint and not as good, core flint, and the quality wasn't as good, like, caveman stuff. And this son of a bitch, she's going all the way up there to the horse pen. Well, she can't get out up there. But and then you look at look, he's like, hey, what the hell is she doing up there? You can't go up there. How did she not die? But yeah, it's pretty neat to see the area you're in, and especially if you hunt points in the same area like I do, and we had a big spring there with a lot of water. So there's literally thousands and thousands of years of people have camped in this area. And so you're looking at hundreds and hundreds of generations in that same area. What's pretty interesting is you find all the knives down by the water, down by the creek, the river. They're not up by the spring where they drink. They're actually down by the river. And they would, remember, for 1 month, Barb, down by the river was where they clean their animals. So that's where they did all their fish and all their cleaning, stuff like that. So I was always trying to, depending on what you want to look for, you'd find a lot more knives and stuff like that down by the flowing water. And then actual spring, you wouldn't find a whole lot because, a lot of them were barefoot and they didn't nap. They didn't make any of their tools around right where the spring was, and then right where their camps were. I can't imagine how many shards of flint were laying everywhere. I've always thought about that. As many points, and you'll find areas like just giant areas bigger than that pond right there. There's just millions of flakes. And that was like their napping area, pressure flaking, however they did it. I always thought if you were to walk up on one of those big camps and it was just, churning with people, I think you would hear it way before you got there. I think you would hear people flaking that flint and napping flint and grinding. I think it would be a very unique sound. It's just because the sheer millions of pieces of flint laying everywhere. I think that would be badass. Even if you could just, listen and watch from somehow. I think animals would be like, stay the hell away from that sound. I can't even explain the abundance of flint shards. A lot of people like to dig in caves, but the caves actually where they would stay, so they wouldn't be making points in there. Now you might find points where they left them in there, but out in front of the cave where you got away from where they walked is where you find the cool shit. A lot of people will dig in a cave, but the cool shit's about 50 foot outside, away from it. They're barefoot. A lot of them are barefoot. Moccasins, different things, but the kids were always barefoot, so flint just like glass. It's actually as hard as a diamond. Really close. It's actually easier to start napping on glass than it is on flint. I'm just rambling on about arrowheads, but I really do. I love it. It's really addictive. I don't know. You don't have to be a member, Nicole. You just join as a member if you want to. Cherokee Nation, just a little ways from here. I think a lot of the stuff that I find, I'll find the really pretty stuff and the arrowheads on top of the ground, like surface level. But now when they plow the field real deep, like if I've never plowed it before, you'll find, the deeper you go, like 3 or 4 feet deep, you'll find that old shit. Like, it's not pretty. It's very crude. I think it's 100 years or 150 years per compacted inch of soil. So if you go 3 foot deep, you're, several thousand years back. Yeah, he's keeping an eye on anybody who needs to be bred. I doubt Ralph did, but he smelled them anyways. I know. I always think about that. I'm like, so out here on my place, there's not any real good campsites. My whole place faces north. That way is north. So as you come up the mountain, it's pretty much north facing. So they really didn't like to camp facing north because of the winter and the wind that comes from the north. So pretty much my place was not a good campsite, but the ones I find here were more when they were hunting. So a lot of times you'll find those, they'll be broke because they were shot. The campsite's where you find the good ones. I do have 2 ponds. These guys got their own pond. Rufus has got his own pond. And then we're going to build another pond down below for Rowdy's crew. I know he's just now wandering off. He's getting sick of standing by me, listening to me run my mouth. Oh my God. I'll tell you something funny about Rosie though. We could walk up to her and try it now that Redford's down here. But Rosie, am I zoomed in right now? No. Rosie is the only cow I've ever seen huff at me. Like turn her head, cock her head like a bull. Rip, get your ass back in there. We're not doing this shit. You're gonna get electrocuted later today. I just want you to know now. The fence does not continuously shock you. It pops you. It has a 0.25 second shock pulse that it sends, and then it has about a 2-second delay, and then it does it again. So I've been shocked in more than any of these sumbitches have. So if anybody says anything about animal cruelty or anything like that, Brent cruelty is number one. Let's see if she'll do it. Let's approach her. Gotta do it kind of hastily. We gotta hurry. Nope, she ain't gonna do it. But look. He says, the fuck you doing? What are you doing? I tried to do it. She did it to me and Amanda. Get out of here while the getting's good. I get this feature off, I feel a little bit safer. Oh look, Redford's back. Where you go? You got a fly right there. I'm not gonna hit you, bud. Ow, almost got it. Dude, I would have swung so hard and hit that thing if I'd been on here live. It'd have been like, woof. That's all you'd have heard. Whether I hit him or not, Redford, you couldn't say I wasn't trying. I did get too close to this lady. That will get you hurt. Barbara. That is way too much. I'm just on there trying to stay alive. You can't tip a cow. God almighty. Gosh dang, I can't see nothing. What, do you think you're a ninja and you're gonna escape in that fireball of smoke? Big 100. Barb. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna have to build fence now that I got some money to build fence. I hate to do it. Did you guys hear Rip? He is bucking and kicking. Roro's back on the road again. I just wanted to see if I could push Rufus any. Get him. He's in Redford's scrape right there. And there's a smell there and all kinds of stuff. So, or the fence may have bit him. I doubt it. He's trying to do bull things in that dirt. I don't know. It's about 2 years in before their hormones kick in really big time for bulls. So he'll be pretty much as active as everybody else, and it just won't throw on all that muscle. Right underneath the freaking fence. Awesome. Great. Great. It was pretty dramatic wind up there. Redford needs you to trim the long hair on his belly button. Man, you know, believe it or not, that sheath hair, let's take a look at it. What do you say? That right there can freeze in the wintertime and knot up, and it can actually cause problems. And if it does, he's on his own. Remember that joke about Long John? What was the name of that? What the fuck is going on down there? Somebody just get tangled up in the fence and break it? Good. Man, this thing is a piece of crap. I'm gonna have to go buy a bunch of shit and rebuild this thing today. This is ridiculous. Earl. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ruby just got stuck in that wire and broke it all off down there. Now there's no fence. That's not good. This stuff right here is like $50 for a couple thousand feet. So I can put all this back in and use 3 wires, I guess, maybe. I would have to. That may be what I do is scoot it back and then put the wires on it and then move it back out of the way so I can start building the barbed wire fence. Because this ain't gonna work with them two getting out. They'll coax everybody else to get out. He won't go too far from his mama, but his mama, I'm pretty sure, just ripped down the fence from there down. She didn't see it. Yeah, the only problem is you can't drive these fiberglass stakes in the ground right now because it's too dry for the fence fun. I think I have an extra pile of those though. Pretty much what you got to do now when it gets this dry is you got to have 1 wire that's a ground wire and then 2 wires that are hot. So they have to touch the 1 wire and the other wires to get shocked. It's pretty hard to do, honestly, because you just saw how fast Rip went through it. I don't know, Lisa. I need to find out. They're like everybody else. Everybody's going to end up calling me at the same day. The well people, the trailer people, everybody's going to be here at the same day. I wasn't even ready to start framing, but the framers called me and they were like, we're ready to start framing. So I bought all the material for the framing. It's stacked up there. I want a 10-foot brick wall by tomorrow. I wish I had a good fence through here, but this fence here is going to take, I don't know if y'all can see how big it loops. So it goes like this and then it starts curving back. So it's going to have wooden post, wooden post, wooden post, wooden post, wooden post up through here on this curve risk, or the whole fence is going to lean. So that means you got to drill holes all through all that rocky, which I don't know that I need to doze much of that out in there. I could probably build it without it, but it's going to take a shitload of wooden 8-inch post in there. I don't know exactly how many. And I would like for that to look good because that's where you're going to come in. Down through here will be your first. I would love to build that all out of rail fence, but way too expensive. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to nip this pretty quick, whether we stick. Well, see, I'm kind of hung up here. We could put Roro back for a little while, because I know Rip ain't gonna go anywhere. He might get out here on the road, but wood would be really nice. But it's about 3,000 feet, 2,000 anyways. I can't remember what that stuff is. I mean, I'm gonna have to put barbed wire on it, but it's still gonna have to have a bunch of 8-inch posts through that, around all those corners. It looks fairly straight from right here, but there's I don't know if y'all can see it or not, there's a big curve here and then it curves all the way back, so I don't know. But those freaking posts are expensive bastards. About $55 a piece, I think. This right through here also, you can see how it goes straight here and then starts curving back over there. So 4, 5, probably about 20. I think I have enough barbed wire. Rip has gotten out like 10 times while we've been on here. He just goes in and out as he pleases now. Barbie going to eat crabs? That sounds good. Some oysters sound good. What are you guys doing? Trying to get that freaking groundhog's corn up from underneath there? Barbara's birthday today. Happy birthday. I do too. You're not going to eat oysters in Arkansas. Okay. Rebecca, you're welcome. Rip is the new calf's name. Yeah, Redford is, he's good and healthy. He's not calm. He's just contemplating his next move. Shake the Ranger, he usually really just rubs his ass raw. Rip's mom is Ruby, right there. Redford's the dad. Oh, Barbara's son's birthday? Okay. He is a proud protector, and he doesn't play. Look, there goes way over there is Ruth and Rowdy. Everybody's headed down to the bottom in that shade. We need some rain, that's for sure. We're not in a crazy drought yet, but with the way the wind's blowing, you know, when the wind's blowing like this, it gets bad. What can we do? Comment on my videos. Comments are what helps the most. But we're doing good. We had a good one on Facebook take off really good too. I think I finally figured out the copyright tool. It sucks pretty bad, but it's better than nothing, and I'm able to remove tons and tons of the fake page content. I can't remove the fake pages yet, but I can remember their content. And it does no good to really remove their content other than it triggers the platform to see that that page is posting my content. And then what that does is it takes away their content from going on like the mainstream live. So if you're just scrolling, you shouldn't see those pages as much anymore, because I've removed so much of their content, which shows the platform that they're stealing content, which that's been great. Now, the thing is, like, I can't go to a particular page and remove their content. I have to wait for the platform to send me a notification saying that they found my copyrighted content, and then I remove it, which is quite the process. Nan Wilson, thank you. Yeah, I mean, keep doing everything you can on reporting them. The best thing to do is just do not comment on those pages. Don't comment fake page, don't comment anything. All that does is help them. Even if it's negative, even if it's fake page, even if it's whatever it is, it sees it that they're getting feedback. So the best thing to do is actually the best thing to do, and I have to be careful here because it comes across as bullying. and I can get in trouble for it. But the best thing to do is to block those pages. So if you find one that's not me, don't comment, don't do anything, just block it. That's the best thing you can do. No, do not like it. Don't send it to me. Don't comment. Don't do anything with them. Everything you do, and the longer you stay on them, the more it helps them. Yeah, it's hard. I've literally been scrolling and thought I was watching one of my own videos before. Yeah, the block and report's the best thing to do. A lot of people forward me those pages and say, "Hey, we found this one." Every time you do that, when you share them, that's sharing them is actually one of the best things you can do for their page, for them. It's all one. It's all one network. It's all one big giant group. There might be 2 or 3 individuals that do it, but all of it is from the same. Um, and how we figured that out is because once I started copyright and removing all those, it sends them an email and it says the owner of this material has removed their content. You can do one of 2 things. You can delete it from your page, which when I click on it, automatically removes it from them, but they just get a notification on their page. Nobody can see it anymore. But they'll get an email saying they can do one of 3 things. They can remove it. They can email me and ask me if I would let them keep it. So what was funny was I went through, me and Amanda did, and we did about 4,000 or 5,000 videos. And that afternoon we got about 200 emails from different pages with the exact same email saying I'm elderly and I want to keep your content on my page. I'm not making any money from it. But they were all the exact same. Because the first one I read, I was like, oh shit, maybe I blocked somebody that was just trying to share my content. No, it was all the scammers, and they had the exact same email claiming to be an elderly person that just wanted to share my content on their page. Because if they don't remove it, they get in trouble. But it was like hundreds of the exact same email. So, they must have AI sending that email just to see if I'd let them leave it. Pretty crazy though. So if you had an account and you only had 1 or 2 people stealing your content and you got that email, you would probably be like, okay, it's an elderly person. But until we got 300 worded exactly the same from 300 different pages, it was over 200 anyways. And I was like, bastards, sneaky bastards. Yeah. And they do mix it up a little bit. So now if you're even a little old lady sharing my stuff and you email me to ask me if you can keep it, I'm like, get away from me, Satan. And some little old lady, she has no idea why I'm not letting her share my content. Well, that's how they do it. What was the moral lesson? I missed it. The 20,000 subscriber offer? I don't even know what that is. Rip did get fixed. You found my channel through a stolen video. So what I like to do on Facebook is I will take and I will block all their content except for their newest posted video if I want to spend the time. Like if I get, and listen, it gives me these videos in order that they find them with copyright issues. So there's no specific order, but sometimes it'll send you like 20 all from the same page. Well, you can click on it, you can see what the page is, and I'll see where it's at on their page. And if it's at the very top, I can click on it and I can add it to where it directs you directly to my page from there. So I'll leave one of their videos on their page directing them, everybody to my page. I figured out how to do that. And that really pisses them off when they delete that video in about 2 seconds usually. So now I don't even take the time to go do it. I just delete them all. You don't know when you're scrolling through the feed, you just don't know what page you're on. You don't see the name. But if you see them that looks fuzzy or they have like yellow font or something that doesn't look right for mine, grainy or has any kind of voiceover, or the thumbnail isn't misspelled like mine is every freaking time. It's bastard being dyslexic. I can read it a million times, post it, and then see that it's misspelled or worded incorrectly or the grammar's bad or whatever. So as long as the grammar's bad, it's misspelled, and looks like a 5-year-old put it on there, that's me. Okay? If it looks professional, not me. Well, now what they've started doing, Watson, they've started posting the same video 10 times on their page. So now the copyright tool will leave a couple of them. The bastards, they're always like one step ahead. So when I go on and I block all those videos, then I go to their page and I'll see they posted 10 of them, and I blocked 8 of them, but the copyright tool missed a couple. And you're like, you son of a bitches, you know. God, y'all are just looking at a feature off. What great content if you're just joining us. We got one wild feature off in its natural element out here. Yeah, don't share them, don't comment on them, don't do nothing. It's hard not to do. People want to cuss them out, which I do appreciate that sometimes. I do like to read the comments in sometimes. I like to go to them and see if I see any of y'all in there, because I can see a lot of the people, and I'm like, you dumb, lazy bastard, you're watching the wrong shit. Maybe that's what I'll do on some of those bigger, there's some of those pages that have close to 200,000 or 300,000 people on them. Maybe I should go look at their friend list and record it. Yeah. I should record their friend list, and we can all pick out people that we know and message them and be like, hey, you dipshit. That's what I should do. I guarantee we all know somebody. If we get enough people on there. That's what we need to do. Let's all see if we know somebody. And just chew their ass like there's no tomorrow, even if you don't even know them that well. Unless they're your boss or something like that. Yeah, hell, if they are your boss. What's so funny is when I send people, and sometimes I'll do it. Like if I see you're on here a lot, like Mike here or somebody, I'll be like, hey, did you know that you're following this page? Yeah, I did know that, actually, and I was doing that to help you get, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing, dude? What are you doing with your life? You're following the fake page. Because it'll show me friends with Rufus the Bull, 247 people, and I'm like, you know, you're like, and I got a picture of like a cartoon character on there, or an old Hereford out of the middle of the field, and you're like, oh boy, you know what? Leave them over there. They're probably going to end up sabotaging and getting their own thing hacked. Princess, thanks for joining. Nope, I don't see Rod. He's sleeping, man. That guy's out. He's done. People are worried now. No, I would probably get in trouble if I did record their friend list for bullying. There's a lot of different things you get in trouble for bullying, which is kind of irritating, but everybody's like, Brent, you need to watermark your videos, Rufus the Bull. And I'm like, their page name is Rufus the Bull. Okay. And I'm like, the platform doesn't care about my watermark. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't help you at all. I put watermarks all over one video that went viral, and it was the name of my page all over it. They took it, put it on their page. It got them more people to follow their page because it looked more legit. What I would like to do is post something that's inappropriate for the platforms. Like, and I've really been trying to figure out how I could do this. I could post it on here because it takes longer to get caught, and then delete it. Because literally yesterday, I posted on here before I could even get over to Facebook to post. I already saw it on somebody's page. But I was like, if I could get something inappropriate, post it, and then let them get in trouble for it before I did, that would be the ultimate. Locust. How could we do that? How could we do that? Oh, I've been copyright striking upwards. Well, I didn't yesterday. I did about 300 yesterday, but there's 500,000 on Facebook alone. I think is what we ended up figuring. There's well over 500,000 of my videos on there, and I only have about 1,500 videos total. So they've been duplicated 500,000 times. So I don't know if y'all can do the math on that. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds per video to copyright match it and to get it kicked out. So 2 to 3 seconds, you can do a few thousand a day. If your phone doesn't lock up or if the platform doesn't lock up. Oh yeah, there's way over 500 accounts on Facebook with way over 1,000 videos per page that I can see. That's 500,000, I think. That's just what I can see. They're not all under Rufus the Bull either. They're under like every name you can think of. But if I can get 15 videos, hope everyone is having a great morning. Who was that? Allison. Yes, ma'am. So we do so many hundred per day, but if you can get about 15, like if I can get 15, it doesn't put them in order. I can't go to those pages. It doesn't put them in any specific order. It just gives me a list of copyright violations from people. So they're in scrambled order. But if I can get 15 copyright violations on any particular page, then it will allow me to keep them from posting any of my content. The problem is getting 15 from all the pages. That's the problem. So even if you do thousands and thousands, you may only do 1 or 2 from all the pages. Or you may do 15 from one page, you know. It's never ending. All you can do is just, but what's stupid is, you know, if the platform can identify that it's yours after you do 15 of the videos, you know damn good and well that platform could identify you on there anywhere and pull all your content for you automatically. It is very irritating because it also tells me the ones that are monetized, and it tells me how many views they have and how many likes they have, and it tells me all their stuff. So I can see I make about a 1% of what all of my content actually makes, if that's crazy. Maybe 1%. Now it does push it out there a lot, and I think that's why everybody when they see me in public, they know me, is because it's we're at about 5 or 6 billion views right now, across all of them. So if you took all those fake pages and added up all those, I don't even know how many that would be. Probably 15 or 20 billion. Well, it's just something you deal with. But like, you won't see like Garth Brooks, and listen, obviously I'm not a Garth Brooks, but you won't see a Jeff Foxworthy. You won't see any of these other people on these other platforms because they can identify their faces, and whoever their attorneys are is like, go ahead, make a buck off of whoever this is, and we're going to sue you. You know what I mean? So I'm like, there's a way. They did it. I have the one plaque at 100,000. My next plaque is at 1 million, and we're getting close to 600,000 right now. And I don't really care about the plaque, but the first plaque we got, I thought you would get one at like every 100,000 or maybe a 500,000. I didn't know that the next one would be at 1 million. Anyways, me and Paisley started all this stuff. Well, it just pops up on your screen and says, you've hit this milestone, you get this plaque. Well, I just put the channel name on there, and it's Brent and Rufus, or Rufus the Bull, or whatever. It's Brent Rufus 479 or something like that. Well, that's what it put on the plaque. Well, when I opened up out of the box, Paisley was sitting beside me, and she saw it, and she was like, a little bit heartbroken. Well, then that just ripped my heart and soul out of my body. So the one at 1 million, her name is going to go on the front of it first, and then me and Rufus. That's the only reason. You only get one at 100 and one at 1 million. And once I get the one at 1 million, put her name on it. I'm hungry, man. Because obviously the subscribers, apparently the subscriber number is a lot of what the companies go by. So like for us to get sponsors and stuff, we need to get up around 1 million subscribers, even though our numbers are higher than most of the people with 1 million subscribers. So Ross made it. You could start Jello wrestling too. Don't give me any ideas, man. I was so bummed because Paisley was bummed. It took away like that whole hope little Rowdy are doing well with their new arrangements. Yeah, Rowdy's been fine. Rip is currently sleeping in the middle of the road down here, and Roro is headed down the road again. So yeah, they're just enjoying life. Back in the day, 100,000, you made it. Now 1 million. No, I just want the plaque, the new plaque, so I can put Paisley's name on it. Honestly, I don't know that the number really matters. I mean, I think it matters more for the sponsors. I think it matters just because you have that following lockdown. But we've only been at this for just a little over a year on here, so we're doing really well. We're gaining. For me, never requesting anybody to subscribe really, besides on my lives, because I don't think I've ever made a video asking people to subscribe, which really isn't the smartest. I should probably do that every once in a while, but I forget. Yeah, I'll be last. I don't even need to be on it. I don't even care. No, it's got to come from YouTube, man. The YouTube box with the YouTube play button and the whole thing. Now she's too smart for that. I already thought about it. emailed and seeing if I could get another one. Oh, you name it. So I'm like, a million's better anyways. We'll get it. It's going to take us at the rate we're going about another 12 months. So by then she probably won't even care. Yeah, just be sure y'all comment or subscribe if you don't. Or don't. I see the setting boundaries. No, we don't do any politics in this one. You can go over to CNN or somewhere, Fox, go wherever you want to go. You can click on the main feed, you'll see something within 5 seconds. We deal with cows and assholes over here, and we like to just sit back and relax sometimes and not die. That's the key. So I had my emus, the Thunder Chickens, going on a t-shirt. And I had the artist draw of it up. And then we lost Cream. So now I just got one. So I had to call them back and said, we need to remove one of them from my shirt. And then we're going to have the Thunder Chicken. Listen, it's not funny. Don't laugh. It's going to be the Thunder Chicken now. Unless I get another one. Yeah. I'd rather deal with my asshole bulls. But I'll give you guys a little picture of what this shirt's going to look like. It's going to have me like standing. Where's my finger? Me like standing out here like this. Rufus on that side of me with my back to the image and me pointing like this saying, sick 'em. And then the ostrich or the emu running this way, like just with his head going running this way away from Rufus. I think it's going to be hilarious. Well, the picture I have already is. It's like them just, their legs just going 100 miles an hour. Me saying sick 'em and then them some bitches running the other direction. I don't know if I'm going to get another one or not, honestly, because now Cookies is like taking to us so much. I'm like, before he didn't need any of that interaction. So I'm wondering if they do better with humans, like just one-on-one. Oh yeah, she's right now is t-shirt season because all the universities are starting back, and all the t-shirt companies are making all the t-shirts for all the sororities and all the shit and all the bullshit. But we've got 2 weeks of 102-degree weather, and then we're going to crank back up on the hoodies and the sweaters, and then I've got a good storyline this year for the kids for Santa Claus, and should be a pretty good fall. I'm looking forward to it. She was like, should I go ahead and order the hoodies now? And I was like, it's 102. And the 14-day forecast says 102 on the other end of this. So no, let's hold off at least 2 weeks. Look, there goes Ruby down there. God, it reminds me of Rufus. That was. Remember me telling you a while ago? That was Rufus's spot right there, and Ruby's. I know, like all the social media, like everything you look at says how many designs you need for your shirts when you're doing shirts, and it's like not very many designs, honestly, like seasonal drops and stuff. And we have like 25 or 30 different designs now, and they're like at max 5. And we were both like, but there's so many cool ideas. Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all seen the new one with Rufus and them playing poker and all the cows in the pond. That was pretty good when that was Amanda's. That was her idea. Do y'all, oh, speaking of, do y'all want to see my idea? Can y'all see that? I forgot I was wearing one. Can y'all see it? Could y'all see it or is it too low? Oh fuck, we're zoomed in. Shit the bed. This is what I don't do. This is why I don't do social media right here. We're still zoomed or is Redford's head that big? Oh, there we go. All right, hang on, hold. Y'all see? You don't ever want to jump at a bull. RufusTheBull.com if you like you one. I don't know if the boss is in here or not. Yeah. I like this shirt. And it's got just the American flag, Rufus the Bull. And it's cold right here. I'm kidding. It's not cold. I wish it was. Look. It's growing back. Amanda said that it was not to ever do that again. Coming from the woman that told me to do it. Who's she getting? No, I won't trim again this year. It'll be next year. I trimmed it down to a 1/4 inch. Yeah, I know. I don't really care. I've got her cut in my hair now. Literally, the reason I wanted a man to cut my hair is so I don't have to go to town at all. At all. None. Well, hush eat. Yeah. Ross, I haven't gotten them back either. I'll track them today. What does it? Ross give you the wrong address when he's doped up? Listen, my haircut is the simplest one there is. Yeah, Big Boss is gonna cut it from now on. I had to force her to cut my hair. And then Hagen had her talking about giving me a reverse mohawk, and I was like, you guys gotta sleep. Oh, did something get screwed up? I'll be honest with you, we've done a pretty, well, I used we, but Amanda's done a pretty good job on the reviews. Most of the reviews are good. Do we have any bad reviews, babe? Does anybody give us any bad reviews? Because I like to, those are public, and I like to take credit for the one bad review that was, well, there's a couple, I think, but the one really bad review was left because of me on Amanda's deal, which was the best part. Holy shit, put a muffler on that thing. Big Boss, hello. Hello. I swear to God, she just pops in here and says something and gets out. I'll tell you right now, I don't know who it was flying over. What was I gonna ask you? What was I about to ask her? Don't go nowhere for a second. Oh, The reviews. Do we have any bad reviews? Chris, way to go. What's the bad review? Is it the same one I had? Y'all don't be getting on there and giving bad reviews just so I'll read them on here. It's just mine. Okay. Well, bird of the same feather flock together. She's not a moderator. She doesn't join my lives. Why would I make her a moderator? She has to listen to me anyways. Vancouver. Good morning. Guys, I'm gonna jump off here. Gosh dang, I've been on here for an hour or 178 minutes. What time is it now? I don't know why this thing doesn't show you the time on here, so you lose track of time. It's like a casino. 10, 12. Is that Central? Well, shit, we wasted the whole cool morning. Now we can't do anything. Thank God. I didn't want to work today anyways. Thank God. So much should be doing. I know. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. You know, I could take my box blade off and start drilling these post holes, I guess. And then I could have wooden post up here to put all that electric fence on. Temporary. Oh, it sounds terrible drilling post holes by myself. It's pretty much impossible. Ross, you just got out of bed. We've been on here for like 4 hours. That's all, folks. Y'all have a good day. I'll need to try to film some kind of content. I'm not going in there today, though. I'm not feeling it. It's just too much. The Ranger has taken too many beatings in the last couple days. You guys have a great day. Tomorrow morning when we come back on here, it's going to be a brand new fence built through here. All the way through. 25 post set. Hell no. Nah. If I could just get the post set, would be good. We got to get Roro back in here too. All right, y'all be good. Have a good day.